Hello, my name is Mr Altamira, and I'm going to be one of the 6th and 8th grade math teachers this year. So I suppose for starters, a little bit about me. I've been teaching here at Northwest School of the Arts for the past 8 years. This will be my 8th year teaching 6th grade math, and it will be my 2nd year teaching 8th grade math. So I have had experience with both sets of curriculum. However, keep in mind the 6th grade curriculum has changed this year. So there will be some differences. Those of you who have older siblings, there will be some differences from this year as opposed to years prior. Now, a little bit about me. Not much to tell. Outside of class, you can find me either riding around on my motorcycle, fishing, playing video games, or watching anime, or camping. That's basically it. That's what I do. Not much else to tell, really. This is the classroom. So as you can see, it is not the most imaginative layout. COVID protocols require that students be separated by 3 feet as long as they are wearing masks when possible. So these desks are from the center of the seat to the center of the seat, barely 3 feet going from front to back, and about 4 feet going from side to side. So students will be spaced effectively in my room. You will notice there is a huge gap without any desks on that side. That is because I am waiting on more desks. 8th graders, this will be a rather full classroom. Please do not expect to be able to get up and move around like you had when you had me 2 years ago. That's just not going to be possible. Main entrance to the room, I've got the door closed to hopefully minimize some extra noise. Bare bulletin boards for now, but that's just because I don't have student work yet. This calendar is likely going to be going away because, well, I believe we will be having a Google Calendar that will be shared with all students this year to help keep everybody organized. Let's see, the front of the room. This is where I will be 9 times out of 10 throughout class. I will be up here leading a lesson, writing on my smartboard, and leading class in discussions, and helping guide them to figuring out how math works. Let's see. Things to know and things to bring to class. So, first of all, pencils. Of course, you will be needing pencils. Mechanical pencils are fine, but please bring your own pencil lead. I do not have any to give you if you run out. So, if you are bringing mechanical pencils, always bring spare lead. Next up is paper. I do not care if you prefer notebooks or binders. If you prefer binders, you will need to bring equal parts graph paper and line paper when you are working. Your binder, if you go with a binder, should have 4 to 5 sections. 4 sections will really be enough, but 5 if you want to just have more space for handouts. If, however, you do not like binders and prefer using notebooks instead, you will need equal parts. You will need to bring your own notebook, but you will also need graph paper. As you can see, we don't just use graph paper for graphing. We use graph paper for 6th grade. We use it for, yes, graphing, but we also use it for decimals, fractions, statistics, and ratios. So, 6th grade, bring your graph paper every day. We will be using it. 8th grade, we will be using graph paper for mostly functions. That is where you are provided an equation and you are being asked to construct a line based on it. If you go with a notebook, you will need either multiple folders for handouts, 4 folders to be exact, or an accordion folder, so that way you can keep everything organized. Do not, if you get one of those notebooks that has built-in folders, do not trust them. They don't work nearly as well as a dedicated folder. Calculators. You do not strictly need to bring a calculator. If you absolutely must have a physical calculator, 6th graders, this is the one you want, the TI-30XS multiview. However, as of this past year, the EOG has been giving people an online calculator. That online calculator can be found here, desmos.com/scientific. 8th graders, there's a different calculator. That calculator would be the TI 83 and 84 calculator. You do not need to go and buy those. Those calculators, 8th graders, they're like $100. Don't waste your money. Use the online one, desmos.com/calculator and desmos.com/scientific. Save your money, it's $100. It's kind of ridiculous. Don't worry about that. Now, another thing you will be needing for class in general, sorry, looking at my supply list to make sure I know, you will definitely be needing a set of headphones or earbuds. That is just in case we end up doing that hybrid learning that we had last year. If there are people in the room who are working on something on their computer, or if you were absent and you're getting caught up on your Chromebook here at school, well, it's going to be kind of hard to focus if you hear 5 different people's Chromebooks and the teacher talking all at the same time. That gets old really fast. So bring your own set of headphones or earbuds. Just make sure they're kind of comfortable. Another thing, it's not super critical, but it's helpful to have, would be a mouse. Any USB mouse will do fine, wired, wireless. I would say actually get wired, because if you get wireless and you lose that stupid little dongle that plugs in, then the mouse is useless. So get a wired one. You won't be able to lose anything other than the mouse itself. And that's really probably going to do it for all of the supplies. Now, supplies that if you wanted to donate, things that we could use as a team. One would be hand sanitizer, of course. We could always use some hand sanitizer. Some good paper towels. Those are always coming in handy. Tissues. There is literally no amount of tissues that you could donate that would be too much. We will go through probably a box every 2 weeks. That's not an exaggeration, especially in the past when it's been flu season. We just burn through tissues like crazy. Let's see, some good disinfectant spray. That's not to say we don't have disinfectant spray, but this is the spray we're provided. It does the trick. It does kill germs, but it also, I'll put it this way, it burns my eyes whenever I spray this on my desks. So I do spray it down, but it burns. It is not good at all. It kills germs. I suspect it might also kill human cells as well. So if you can provide even the knockoff disinfectant spray that they sell at Walmart, the knockoff Clorox with the lemon scent and stuff, that's perfect. So we could always use that. Speaking of Clorox, disinfectant wipes of any kind work. Baby wipes are surprisingly helpful. They're not good for disinfectant, but they are good whenever students or me are writing on one of the whiteboards and we get marker on our hands. It works surprisingly well for that. Aside from that, other supplies that I know us as a 6th grade team would always appreciate would be things like more pencils, more paper, more graph paper. Of course, I already mentioned tissues. Any kind of sanitizing or disinfectant spray is always very helpful. And anything else that if your child comes home and they say, hey, I noticed my teacher doesn't have very much of this, feel free to email us and ask, hey, do you need this? And I'm sure we'll either say yeah, or oh, we just didn't think to set that out. I suppose one other thing, masks. All right. Another thing would be masks. We do have some masks, but please keep in mind we are requiring masks for school. So you need to come prepared. You need to have a mask. So that way we can be 3 feet apart. If you don't have a mask, you have to be 6 feet apart, which, depending on how many students happen to be in class that day, it might mean that you have to go to the auditorium instead of in class for that day. That's just the way that is. I cannot physically, socially distance people farther than 3 feet in my room, which is not a big deal if we have masks, is a very big deal if we don't. So keep that in mind. And let's see, I believe that will just about do it. Now, I suppose for expectations, namely my expectations for parents and for students. So parents, my expectation is communication. I expect that we will be working together because I want your children to succeed. I'm sure you want your children to succeed, and that's not going to happen unless we're able to communicate with each other. So anytime you need something, feel free to email me. I'll reply by the end of the next school day. I can't guarantee that I will respond that same day, but by the end of the next school day, I will. And as for expectations for students, I really only have one. So students, assuming you're watching this too, my only expectation is just to follow whatever direction I'm giving you. No, I won't ever give you something crazy like, hey, go run into that wall over there. That will never be one of my directions. But if I give you a direction such as, hey, go ahead and take out the warm-up and just try this one problem. That's all I'm asking. I'm not even asking for you to get that problem right. Okay? Need you to understand that. I don't care if you get a question right or wrong. I care that you're trying a problem. If you come into class and you try, you'll do just fine. I promise. If you come into my room and you just don't care and you just don't try, I can't guarantee that everything will be okay. That's basically it. Come to class and try and follow the directions I give you. That's all you gotta do. And that's gonna basically do it. I'm gonna go ahead and end this. I made this video because I know how open house is always crazy. Nobody really has a chance to sit down and talk and hear me out. There's a bunch of people everywhere, so people don't get a chance to actually hear what I'm saying. So this has all been pre-recorded, and I look forward to working with you this year. Bye.